engage tools aren't that mitigated, and also the charm followed up with the knockup means that there's that brief window where Lulu can be CC'd, which means her positioning is going to be very important. So I guess I understand it in terms of the matchup, but again, later on into the game, I am worried because I think that Astralis have really good scaling here. I think that when you're running double AD carry, when you have the Gragas to offer that AP damage later on into the game, and with this Udyr who's going to be able to just act as that front line, very obnoxious, sticking to these carries in the back, trying to make their life as difficult as possible.
As a final point about the Lulu in that matchup, the reason I was surprised that Patrik was able to put as much damage down as he can is usually what will happen is Rakan will jump in, or the enemy support will jump in, and as the AD carry steps up, you just polymorph. I was expecting to see maybe promisq wasn't quite in range to get the polymorph down onto Patrik.
Could have also been the tower. I don't remember where Patrik was exactly, but if promisq got a little too close, he may have been power aggro. But I really like these engages coming out from Torre. Forced to flash out too.
The tower's going in, and Torre just flashes forward for the kill. Jeskla now trying to trade in a 1v2, but you're not going to be able to win this one. Blade Caller roots him up. Jeskla does still have the flash, will use it. Patrik no flash of his own with Zanzarah coming around the corner. Patrik and Torre will be forced to retreat, but they get first blood in the bottom lane.
Really big advantage gained here for XL. And a big punish from promisq. That's the second time he's been knocked up, but this time there was a tower shot right behind him, and this was much
of their time.
Yeah, the early game has not been great, but I have seen some highlight moments from many players on both sides. I think Zanzarah has been a real standout for me in terms of his decision-making in the early game against many teams, especially what we saw yesterday against G2.
promisq working his way up through the bottom side alongside Jeskla. Now, Kryze, how much do you respect it? So there have been pings in the bottom lane from Patrik and Torre, I assume saying, hey, we do not know where our lane opponents are, and Kryze, with the slice away, will respect it. There is a rift held here for Zanzarah. They might just look for the plates in the tower in the top lane. All 5 members of Astralis clumped up on this top side of the map. Meanwhile, XL will take their first dragon of the game and start to funnel some gold into Patrik as well, who's picking up plates in that bottom lane.
Exactly that. It's all about funneling gold. Plates have been proven to be extremely valuable. Teams are willing to sacrifice Drake against this comp from XL that wants to try and close the gap against you, and they're going to be able to get that first tower likely. But I like the response here from XL, trying to get some plates in the mid lane, use the mobility from Orianna and her phase rush to just claw some of that gold back. Have they now caught WhiteKnight?
No, he can just body slam across the wall. Important for Astralis that Jeskla had Crescendum there. Meant that he could burn through those first 2 tower plates quickly enough that the Rift Herald charged in and took down the turret. And you can see Jeskala's actually still pushing in here. Rift Herald's going to charge in. This is 2 towers, or at least a tower and 2/3 in exchange for 1. In fact, it is going to be 2 for Astralis on the top side of the map.
I like the cover that we saw there from Zanzarah as well. He moved in through the top side jungle, dropped a couple of wards, and was able to...
But against an Infernum, there's really not too much you can do. This Aphelios has way too much wave flow.
For now, Astralis is just using the Rift Herald to create a point of pressure. XL, you've got to answer this. So that means that we can move into the bot river. Oh, look, now we can start setting it for this Drake. I want to see Astralis start to move out, but they recognize the...
Either, just the quickness. Support ult for support ult, and XL will start up the Cloud Dragon. Only 2nd dragon of the game for either of these 2 teams, so it's not the biggest thing to get as the engage comes in. Body slam into the knockup. Torre trying to trade with Zanzarah on the backline. Kryze is rooted up. Dan trying to do what he can. He gets the sleeper only onto 1. Kryze diving forward. The shockwave lands on 2. promisq and WhiteKnight still alive though, and Jeskla stepping forward with the Severum. Up towards the top side of the fight. Zanzarah down to 100 HP. Dan going in. Nukeduck can't dash the wall. Can't flash the wall. And for that, he pays with his life.
Wow. And that was just a massive XL were able to get the pick. They're able to get themselves the Drake. And now you just have a quick look at these minion waves. There is a huge stack on top that's free for XL to grab. The bot wave can be P or CS here and there. But instead, he's just kind of... He's just forced to come along with his... I'm just saying he could have.
Yeah, he definitely could have.
It's the reason why I like freezing and gain a lot of goal and deny a lot from your opposition to force them to potentially make a mistake. Speaking of mistakes...
Yeah, Patrik coming down through the river, wasn't aware that WhiteKnight and Zanzarah were laying in waste. Quickness comes down. As you can see, the damage actually going back onto WhiteKnight, tries to use the explosive cast, but XL with the TPs coming in and now looking for more of a fight. promisq uses the Mikhails on himself, but that won't be a blessing. He's down. XL get 2 kills basically out of nothing.
And that's just going to be a Baron. Wow. I mean, so Astralis just thought that they'd caught Patrik out of position, and then it very quickly collapsed from a great TP from Kryze to be able to turn that in XL's favor. When we get the replay, we can really break this down, but Astralis kind of caught their pants down right there, and that was such a huge mistake. Like, they had the scaling advantage. Like, he's just been joining his team. Now, again, I don't know if that's a WhiteKnight decision or a team decision where it's him and... Ooh, this is really helpful. If you have a quick look at the XP, you can see the difference between WhiteKnight and Kryze. Like, WhiteKnight's so far behind even Zanzarah. See that XL is just foregoing that top lane tower, which is a little risky because Lucian has accepted what's happening in mid.
Yeah.
He may very well.
They were spotted out, unless that is Astralis XL's vision? Looks like they were spotted out, so they know that XL are here. The tower will go down. Zanzarah is looking for a flank position. The Culling coming out onto Torre, but Zanzarah is jumped on by Kryze. They're stealing our support items and then getting them nerfed, okay? The junglers are the hedge fund, and I'm Wall Street Bets as a support main.
It's okay.
Nukeduck's going to get the Cloud Soul here for free. You can see Astralis don't really care too much about this. We said... Oh, sorry. I totally got my players confused there. Damage down onto the Orianna, forces her away. This is the tier 2 in the mid lane. Astralis can continue to barrel forward if they want. Nukeduck is on the tier 2 in the bottom lane, and XL have only been able to get 1 tower out of this. This is a very good trade for Astralis. A dragon and 2 towers, basically, for a body slam.
Yeah, I like that from Astralis. This was well executed in the mid lane. They played around the mid wave well. They forced Patrik to use his ultimate. Just getting that ult from him immediately forced XL on the defensive.
But he is on a control ward.
The thing is, Astralis have pushed him bot, and that wave on top lane isn't threatening them. So again, they're in a comfortable position.
Jesk's going to sleep. There is Mikalos from promisq, and you can see it's immediately used. Torre jumping forward, used the quickness, didn't use the flash. Jesk's now stepping in. WhiteKnight, the Featherstorm comes out. He's rooted up. He's locked in place. And the knockback from the explosive cast will not be enough to save him. WhiteKnight goes down. And in the middle of this, all Kryze with a gore drinker. Just heals up the entirety of his health. But the Moonlight Vigil into the Infernum isn't quite enough. Nukeduck opens back up, trying to turn the fight around. But he is stunned in place and shut down by Czekolad. And XL win out the fight.
What a crazy fight between XL and Astralis. It ends up being... Oh, okay. Nukeduck is on the Drake. They know that he's on the Drake. And he doesn't have teleport.
WhiteKnight has no ultimate. There's no wild growth. The Baron down to 2,000, 1,000, no 1,000 now as it's secured by XL, and Torre dives in towards Jeskla. Jeskla has nowhere to go, oversteps as an AD carry, and XL pounce and take the kill.
Wow. Okay, so good punish there from XL. Now they get the knockup.
Yeah, promisq is being locked up here as well. No wild growth to save him. Kryze looks like he's just giving over this kill to his AD carry. Patrik puts a feather in the back of promisq. Torre diving in as well, and in the end, Kryze will secure it. An 8,000 gold lead now for XL, their second Baron of the game.
That opportunity, and it's just been XL punishing many of the mistakes that we have been seeing from Astralis. Now with the Baron, with the numbers advantage, they're pushing into the base. They might look to end right now.
Jeskla up in 4 seconds, though. Have to note how strong Czekolad is in these fights. Rabadon's, Leandra's Anguish, Zhonya's, and the Seraph's Embrace, all complete. That's a 4-item Orianna. You cannot miss.
Just taking their time. Here comes the engage, though, from Astralis. Good damage.
Czekolad shielded up. Quickness comes out from Torre. Zanzarah on the chase. Has that turbo chem tank. Kryze is not with the team right now, and WhiteKnight is coming to join. Kryze is on his way from the bottom lane. Here we go. XL stepping forward. WhiteKnight in a really good position here for Patrik. Lands the knockup, doesn't get a knockback though, and you can see Nukeduck's already nuked. He's just about shielded with the health picks, but he will have to retreat back towards the fountain to heal up some of that HP.
Again, really well how much was used in the last fight for Astralis. So that will be the soul. They will get that additional movement speed. And I think for, when playing against an Udyr, I will say you don't want him to have more movement speed, that's for sure.
Moonlight Vigil comes out, hits Torre, hits WhiteKnight. Zanzarah going in. WhiteKnight with a great explosive cast, but only knocks Kryze into the back line of Astralis, and that Crocodile is hungry. WhiteKnight the first to fall in the fight, and Kryze now jumping on promisq and Jeskla. However, Zanzarah's in the middle of the fight. The current coming from the bottom side is the shockwave. Lands on one. Jeskla goes down, and now Astralis are left all alone. It's all on Nukeduck 1v5. He does not have a hope in hell. A triple kill for Well, it took them 40 minutes, and 2 Barons, 3 Cloud Dragons, and a Cloud Soul, but in the end, XL will clean up the kills in the base. They take their second win of Spring Split as they defeat Astralis in a torrid affair.
Big props to the bot lane of XL. They were able to find that 2 versus 2 kill in lane, which I think was super valuable. Their positioning and execution in fights was very good. And I do think that this has been Torre's best performance of the split so far.
Yeah.
Did not die, was involved in every single kill. His Rakan ultimates were very clutch in kind of denying the Baron, keeping people away, and ultimately playing very well. So huge props to the bot lane of XL. Very impressive stuff.
Yeah, give him some credit there. Of course, Astralis, on the other hand, will be